Hi, my name is Shaida Khadija binti Rosli and I will present about triggered charcoal against biochar. According to Savage, life cycle assessment is a process to analyze the materials, energy, emission, and waste of a product or service system. LCA is an inclusive tool that has necessary inputs and emission in stages and operation which are considered to be within the system boundaries. So, there are 4 phases in LCA, which is goal and scope definition, life cycle inventory analysis, life cycle impact assessment, and lastly, interpretation of the study. Next, what is yard waste? Yard waste is one of the types of municipal solid waste that also known as vegetative waste. The example of yard waste is tree trimmings, grass clippings, leaves, and other plant. Yard waste is easy to compose, and once it composed, it shall decrease the need of landfill space and produce amendment of soil as an end product. Now, what is biochar? Biochar is a type of organic matter made by burning biomass material. Other than that, biochar is found in soils around the world as a result of vegetation fire and historic soil management practices. Next, biochar is a simple tool that can combat climate change. Biochar is produced through pyrolysis or gasification, the processes that heat biomass in the absence or under reduction of oxygen. There are many benefits of biochar that you can see in the image of the slide. First, reduce methane soil emission, improve soil fertility, increase soil carbon, and also carbon negative energy. The goal of the study is to assess the pollutant emissions and resources consumption and their environmental impact of 2 charcoal production methods, which was Contiki flame curtain and CIMAPRO. The comparison is between 1 kilogram of charcoal and 1 kilogram of biochar. And while for biochar, there is some calculation that need to be done with the provided data. The data charcoal is gained from the CIMAPRO software. Once the calculation is complete, the comparison can be made within the recipe method. This information is important for decision makers such as the government of Malacca State. The functional unit for this study is 1 kilogram of biochar and 1 kilogram of charcoal. There are 2 types of system boundaries. First, the environmental impacts related to the minor consumable materials and to the construction of the facilities are not considered because the impacts are assumed to be negligible compared to those of the long operation period, more than 30 years. And second, a distance of 40 km is taken as average transport distance for collecting the yard waste. There are 3 processes that need to be done in order to produce biochar. First is air drying, second wood chipper, and lastly carbonization. There is emission releases to the air in all stages. For air drying, the emission to air is water. For wood chipper, the emission to air is water too. And for carbonization, there is 6 chemical compound that has been released to the air. And the input of this product is yard waste. For air drying stage, the provided data is 20 metric tons per day of yard waste. The output is dry yard waste, which is the value is 16.14 metric ton per day, and water that has been released to the air, which is 1.46 metric ton per day. The moisture content of yard waste is 19.3%, for dry yard waste is 12%, and water that is emission to air is 7.3%. For wood chipper process, the input is dry yard waste, which is the value is 16.14 metric ton per day, and also diesel, the value is 10.7 liter per hour. Output is yard waste chip, and the value is 16.14 metric ton per day. And for the carbonization process, the input is yard waste chip with the value is 16.14 metric per day. The output is biochar, and the value is 3.63 metric ton per day. There are 6 types emission to air. First, biogenic carbon monoxide. The value is 871560 gram per day. Second, carbon dioxide. The value is 20,982 gram per day. Third is methane. The value is 484,200 gram per day. Nitric oxide 6,456 gram per day. Fifth is non-methane volatile organic compound. The value is 96,840 gram per day. And lastly, particulate matter. The value is 177,540 gram per day. The method that was used is recipe and point method. It is a hierarchist version with European normalization and average weighting set. First graph is a impact assessment characterization graph, which is a comparison between 1 kilogram of biochar and charcoal. Biochar have a higher impact assessment on climate change on human and ecosystem, ozone depletion, fossil depletion, photochemical oxidant and particulate matter. 6 types of chemical that release to the air in carbonization process contribute the higher impact assessment on certain category for biochar. While for charcoal, the higher impact assessment has on 11 category, which was human toxicity, ionizing radiation, terrestrial acidification, freshwater acidification, terrestrial ecotoxicity, freshwater ecotoxicity, marine ecotoxicity, agricultural land occupational, urban land occupational, natural land transformation, and lastly metal depletion. For charcoal, there are no emission has been stated in the provided data. However, the usage of transportation is higher compared to the biochar. For the single score graph, human health of biochar is higher compared to the charcoal. The resources have the same result for both. Emission for charcoal have slightly higher rather than the single score of biochar. Lastly, the conclusion and recommendation. Both biochar and charcoal have a pro and cons on certain category. Charcoal have more impact compared to the biochar on impact assessment. For the single score graph, biochar has a higher result on human health, while charcoal has a higher result on resources. For recommendation, an experiment or research for biochar shall be continued so that can minimize the contribution of bad effect towards human health. LCA should be introduced to everyone so that people can decrease the environmental impact. The demand of product is getting higher day by day, but in the meantime, the resources is lower. Might be in the future there's not enough resources such as wood, water, and coal. here are the references, and thank you for watching.